So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, welcome to Go for Lunch, the very first Go for Lunch. So, greetings, shelterlings. That's a word I made up of those of us that are sheltering in place. So, glad to have you here or watching later. So welcome to the Cinco de Mayo Go for Lunch, which happens to be on Taco Tuesday. Now, how poetic is that? I think it's great. So I think we should all go out and I should have warned you ahead of time, but I didn't really learn that till about an hour ago. I should have told you to have your tacos ready for Go for Lunch. So what is Go for Lunch all about? Well, as I drive around, going to help people with their Apple products around the town and the country, I listen to Apple-related podcasts. And then I hear something, I think I would like to tell my clients about that. And until now, there was no easy way to do that. So that's what this is all about. Spreading good news and good tips and good tricks about how to more effectively use your Apple products, whether it be a Mac computer, an iPhone, an iPad, or Apple Watch. All these products that Apple puts a lot of work into, and sometimes they don't tell us about some of the features. So I discovered these hidden features that are helpful, and I want to share those with you. So this is the plan. Every Tuesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, that's Pacific Daylight Time, or GMT-7 for our faraway listeners and watchers, we're going to do Go for Lunch. So let's talk about how I got here. So, story time. If anybody knows that reference, let me know. So let's see if we can bring a comment in here. There it is. Look at that. So we're using a program called Ecamm Live, which allows us to do all sorts of things like if I had a television studio at my disposal. But of course, I don't. But that is where the story starts. So once upon a time, a long time ago, Roger, by the way, I'm Roger Harmon, in case you didn't recognize me. I am Roger Harmon, that you have seen in person, and next time you see me, I may or may not have this little extra addition here. So once upon a time, I was in high school, and we did record hops. We had a company called the Rincon Broadcasting System, RBS, where our business is your pleasure. That worked then. Maybe it doesn't work now. So from there, I went into radio here in Tucson, and I worked at a couple of radio stations, and then I went to school at the University of Arizona studying broadcasting. So during that time, I worked at the U of A station, KUAT, and at one point, I was the news department. So in the morning, and while I was going to school between classes, I would go to the U of A Press Bureau. I would collect press releases, go around to different places on campus with my trusty Polaroid camera and a silent 16 millimeter movie camera, and collect the news from university people. So then I go back to the studio, probably have gone to another class or two. The film would be developed by our film department, and I would prepare any graphic cards, like title cards, which I was also the graphics department. I would literally tape the Polaroid pictures up on a card, and we would just put a camera on that to pick up that visual. And then I was the anchor. I would deliver the 10 o'clock news. So that's how I got started. So I worked at Channel 13 as a director. I worked at Channel 9 as a cameraman and floor manager. and I worked at Channel 4, NBC local affiliate, as a director for over a year. But they were paying me, I think it was $1.39 an hour working, and this was a long time ago. I hear it's not much better today, but anyway, working 39 hours a week, so they didn't have to pay me any benefits. So I had three choices. That's three choices. 1, stay in broadcasting. 2, stay in Tucson. 3, eat. Because I knew if I wanted to stay in broadcasting, I would have to go to probably first to Phoenix and then to a big city like LA, Chicago, or New York. And I pretty much liked Tucson. So I chose to eat and stay in Tucson, got a government job that paid me enough to live on, and I did that until I retired 22 years, 9 months later, and went back to my original passion, which is video production. So that's a little of the backstory. That's how I got here. So now I have been studying going live on the internet. There's a company called Live Streaming Pros, and they have courses which I've taken. And then last month they had a challenge called LIDA, Live Every Day in April, LIDA. So I did LIDA. I was live on Facebook in our private Facebook group every single day on the appropriate day for 30 days in April. So every day we had a challenge, and we had to do something a little different to improve our abilities to do a live show. So that's helped me quite a bit. So I've been thinking about how to relate to my clients the information that I come across in my many podcasts that I listen to continuously. A long time ago, I had an idea of a newsletter called the GoFor Gazette, which you received an issue today if you're on my mailing list. And if not, check below for my address. You can request to be on that mailing list. So we have launched the GoFor Gazette to announce GoFor Lunch. And in each of these different types of media, we will be giving you some tips, tricks along the way to help your life with technology be more productive and hopefully simpler. Speaking of tips, here is today's tips. So, a lot of you are on Zoom or other video conferencing meetings like Hangouts, Facebook Messenger groups, Microsoft groups, and FaceTime. So I want to give you a couple little tips so that you look good on those groups. Pardon me, I haven't had lunch, but I'm going to have a little cup of coffee here, a little product placement. Feels good on the throat. So, Zoom tips. Tip number 1, elevate your camera. So, what do we mean by that? We mean this is not a flattering shot for anybody. We call this the up the nose shot. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. And plus, who wants to see your ceiling and your, ceiling fans and your vents and stuff like that? So you need to bring the camera up to eye level. Something like this. Okay, see, we're at eye level. There's the camera. We're at eye level. So that makes you look a lot better, and it's easy to do. You can get a stack of books. You can get some of those Amazon boxes that you haven't recycled yet. Whatever it takes to bring your camera up to eye level. So that's number 1. If you have a window, the window should be either in front of you or off to the side, like a 3/4, what we call a 3/4. Not behind you, like my window is, but I've got enough light overhead, and I've got a ring light here in front of me, so I've got more light on me than what's coming through the window. But if I would turn off these lights, which is a process, because you have to turn them all the way up to the brightest, and turn off my overhead light. So now you see the window is the thing that you see the most, and you're in the dark. So you want to be facing that window, face that window. So the window should be in front of you and not behind you. So now we're going to turn on this light. So you see that light, it's okay. It lights up my face, but it's still kind of dark around me. So just your regular ceiling lights in your home will fill in the other part. So let's turn those on. And you see how much better that looks. So lighting is important. And you can use like just a table lamp with a shade, which will give you a diffused light, which is very flattering. And so there's some tricks for lighting. Audio. So audio is very important. If you're going to be on a lot of calls, you're going to want to improve your audio, because the microphones that are built into most laptops are not very good. In fact, they're bad. The cameras are not very good either. But you can't buy a webcam right now at a reasonable price because the demand has been so high. So a webcam that used to cost $60 before our crisis has been going for $200 to $300 for the same exact camera, if you could find one. So you're kind of stuck with your webcam for right now. But again, so a lot of groups are probably going to stay with, and businesses are going to stay with some portion of their activity being by video conferencing, because it just makes a lot of sense in a lot of different ways. So you should be equipped for the future. And I predict that the next round of laptops will have 1, better cameras, and 2, better microphones. In fact, the latest MacBook Pro, the 16-inch MacBook Pro that just came out, the web camera is not a big improvement. It's okay, but the microphones on that computer are excellent. So they say that they are podcast quality. And I have actually done some of my Lita Lives on it last month, and the audio was pretty good. So what else can you do for audio? Well, you probably have laying around the house earbuds. You probably got some with your phone. Let's get to our other camera here. So earbuds. And some earbuds, not all earbuds, have a microphone in the cord. So when you put that in your ear, that brings a microphone really close to your mouth. And some of them are a little lower. I've seen some people actually do this on video calls, where they actually kind of bring up the microphone closer to their mouth when they're actually speaking. And of course, when they're listening, they can just leave it down here. So utilize what you've got, the microphone with headset that came with your phone. So if you're going to do, again, if you know that groups that you're involved with are going to be doing video conferencing going on after we get out and about again, another way of getting a better microphone is a lavalier. Lavalier is the French word for lapel. So these are all over Amazon, about $18. This one had high ratings. I actually haven't tested it yet, but it had very high ratings with lots of people reviewing it. So I think it's going to be fine. So the thing you have to know about microphones is the connector on your phone, if you still have one, an audio connector, is different than the one on your computer. So this actually comes with an adapter. So the connector that comes hardwired to the microphone is what we call a tip ring sleeve, TRRS, tip ring sleeve. And that light is a little bright. So let's see if it picks up on the other camera better here, since it doesn't have direct light on it. And there we go. Okay. So you can see, well, you can't really see. We're going to have a close-up overhead camera here as one of our studio improvements. But anyway, take my word for it that that's a tip, T-R-T. No, tip, T-R-R-S, tip ring sleeve, T-R-S. So that's what you would use to plug into your laptop. So this particular, and a lot of them do, come with an adapter, so you can go either to your computer, or you can go to your phone. Just a little quick trip on your phone. Quick trip. I like quick trips, but a quick tip on your phone. When you use your phone, use it in your landscape position. Okay, and also you can buy inexpensive tripods on Amazon. When you buy your lapel microphone, you can pick up a little tripod. Actually, you can even pick up a little tripod that has a ring light. So you can get the whole kind of kit there in one order. So you want to use the landscape so you don't waste your picture with the black bars on the edges, what you get when you hold it in portrait. Also, almost any time that you're taking a picture with your smartphone, this is the way to do it. Landscape. Fill up the frame. So if you take that great news photo and you sell it to a network station, you won't be embarrassed because you won't see the bars on either side, as we frequently see, because people are holding their phones wrong, in my humble professional opinion. So that is good audio for your Zoom calls. And another thing is just kind of be considerate of your surroundings, kind of find a calm area. Brief the people in your household that you'd really appreciate that they didn't, skateboard through the living room or wherever you are, and where, you're not having a TV running in the background. So just little considerations like that to make the experience less distracting for all the people that are watching you on a Zoom call. Well, here we have Carolyn DuPont. Sorry, Carolyn, I haven't been watching. Well, good afternoon to you. And I hope you're going to learn new things too. So this is a learning experience for me because I have to, I'm a one-man band here. I'm the talent. I'm the producer and director. And thank goodness I do have Alexis, who is my graphics and idea person and editor. And so Alexis has been very helpful getting this going, and will be in the future. So thanks, Alexis, and thanks, Carolyn, for tuning in. So thank you for watching. So next week is going to be a little different. We're going to be on YouTube. So story time. The reason that we are on Facebook today is because at the end of my LIDA challenge, Live Every Day in April, where I was live every day in April on YouTube live, the last challenge was, what action are you going to take? Well, my action was to be on live every Tuesday at noon. Thus, Go for Lunch was born. Unfortunately, yesterday, I didn't realize that when you go live on YouTube, you have to plan ahead by 24 hours. Well, I planned ahead by 22 hours, and so I couldn't be live on YouTube today at noon because I didn't make the request until 2 o'clock yesterday. So learn something there. So if you ever think about going live on YouTube, you have to plan at least 24 hours ahead so they can grant you permission to go live. After that, there's no problem from what I understand. So that's why we're on Facebook today. So we're going to be on YouTube every Tuesday at noon for Gopher Lunch from now on. So the Gopher Gazette will go out ahead of time and give you exact instructions on how to get to the YouTube Live for next Tuesday. So I think that's about it for today. Thank you for calling if you have been calling. Thank you for coming, for viewing, for tuning in, checking in. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below, and I will check back and respond to those. So be careful out there.